Welcome back to Krypt, everybody. This week we are going to be talking about hashtag horror, which dropped on Netflix because it's a straight to DVD VOD release. I'm your host, Kat. With me is Pappy, who can't even keep a straight face through introducing this movie.
Trying to be posh like the film. So here's your facts. It was filmed over 18 days in the winter of 2015 in upstate New York and Connecticut. The cast is minimal, the writing is minimal, the script is minimal, the expectations were minimal. It's cyberbullies. That's what was sold to us. A bunch of cyberbullying girls are at a sleepover and they get picked off.
Yeah, they get murder faced.
So you read that and you're like, okay, I'm straight up expecting 80s schlock horror of a bunch of college age women just being terrible people to each other for whatever reason. When we were watching the movie, I'm texting. I'm like, do women really act like this? And you're like, sadly, some of them do. And I'm just like, thank you, penis. Thank you. But it turns out that there are 12-year-old girls that are far nastier than any college or adult woman I've ever met. So I don't know. Do you get better with age?
Yeah, sometimes.
Now these again, this isn't like, oh, women are nasty or mean and whatever. This for the movie, these girls are the worst of the worst expectations from the worst of the worst stereotypes you could think of. Rich, spoiled brats.
Yeah. Like if you looked at the the kid who got his probation for pleading affluenza, like these
all of them.
These girls are the reason that defense exists.
Yeah,
okay.
Best example from the film is as the girls are in this amazing, gorgeous house full of really dumb-looking artwork. Mom's like, "I'll be back in a little bit, kids," and she takes her tumbler full of White Russian, gets in the car, and drives to her AA meeting. These are the people we're talking about.
Yeah.
The only other real adult that's in the film at all is the father of one of the girls who kicks off the plot. When the other girls are so mean to her, she runs off.
Yeah.
She's outside and calling Dad, and then 30 minutes later, Dad just shows up at the door. I love the dude.
Busts in and just starts throat grabbing these girls. Like, where is my daughter?
Where is Kat? Which is even funny. Yeah, Kat was a missing girl. Where's my daughter? And he's got them cornered and screaming at them. They're crying, and I'm just like, I love this dude because he is the F-bomb of this movie. He later goes to find the mom at the AA meeting, and he's doing the same thing to her. Your fucking daughter fucking scared my fucking daughter. Fucking fuck you. And I'm just like, dude, I love it.
You could say, I don't know, he made me so uncomfortable with just how handsy he was with everybody. Yeah. I mean, when I say
physically threatened every single person in that movie.
It's not even like I'm choking you. He's just using the throat as a gateway to grab the face.
He was the human face hugger. He was just,
yeah, it was just dude, get your hands out of their face.
But the most disappointing thing with me for the movie isn't that the movie was disappointing, which we'll get to. It was that I really thought the acting was pretty damn good for 5 preteen girls, or maybe teenager. I don't know how castings work anymore, but 5 young women.
They're probably all 21.
Some good legit acting though.
Oh yeah.
Especially there's a point in the middle of the scene that is nothing horror whatsoever. It almost goes into one of those drama style, Girl Interrupted kind of stuff going on, of just them talking and then dancing and swimming and all of this. And I'm like, but with the stories they're telling and the way they're acting around each other, I'm like, this is some legit good acting. What's it doing here?
Yeah, why are you in this film?
Yeah.
So much mixed emotion on it, but I really, I'm glad that I had a couple days to digest from watching it because I was really torn. If we had recorded this right afterwards, I don't think I could have put an actual rating on it.
Yeah.
But looking back at it, it's okay, do the pros outweigh the cons with this movie? Hell no, they don't.
No.
They don't.
Just skip the 25 minutes in, watch 25 minutes, and then turn it off. and you'll have seen a wonderful, fucked up coming of age tale.
Pretty
Watch the
much.
rest of the film at your own risk, because the ending is not the ending of the movie that we watched. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
Like that, we watched the ending of a film that had a completely different fucking plot. Throughout the entire movie, there are, I can't even say hints. There are graphics on the screen.
Emoji
Yeah.
vision.
And that's where the hashtag horror thing, this whole time we're watching the movie and just, like, scene cuts are after, like, particular burns and stuff like that. The whole screen would just cover in emojis and fucking,
Like
what's
a
that, the
weird
game, the
slot
little,
machine type
yeah, the little
thing.
crystals and stuff and all of that. And then there'd be, like, a hashtag with a gun, or you just say brutality or awesomeness and just stupid shit coming across the screen.
Yeah.
And then back to the movie. And before we hit spoilers, do you want to say anything else about the movie other than not
Well,
worth your
I
time?
will give my rating now, so the non-spoiler people can be in on that. And I give this movie 10 out of 10 poop emojis.
I was not prepared for that. I'm going to give it one frowny face emoji. And now on to spoiler territory,
Yeah, so now we are in spoiler alert zone.
which won't ruin anything, even if you watch it, because now you'll be better prepared for what the hell you watched. Yeah, it's fucking stupid plot. Like, it's okay, yeah, cool. Let's go lock our cell phones in the safe to see if we're really terrible people. Oh, we are really terrible people because we're still mean to each other, to each other's faces
I
without.
think they're worse without the phones, hands down.
Eh, Which is funny because you saw that initially. They're kind of like, "Oh, this is nice, talking, interacting," but then the moment someone said something that could be made fun of, you know.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff was too subtle for its own good. Like the one girl telling her story about her first period, they called her Bloody Mary because she got her period on the tennis court. And then, yeah, she died on the tennis court, which I'm like, oh, hey, that's too subtle for this film.
Yeah. The nuance that you've brought into this is just over
Yeah,
the head of your target demographic,
yeah. And
which
then
is
again, with
not
the
us,
ending,
by the way.
with the whole ending, when we find out who the killer is, which fucking 10 miles away, like you can see it without even binoculars. You just,
Yeah.
because of the cast size, it's impossible to not figure out who it is. And then the stupid misdirection with the guy, and they fucking they fill the plot hole, which him just saying, "Oh, I was watching this whole time." You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, duh, you know. But then we get to the very ending, and it's like, "Oh, this whole time, this girl was murdering everybody for a video game or for an online game that
Yeah,
was
for a
never once
social
mentioned."
media game, yeah.
It was never mentioned. So apparently we were supposed to assume that from the fucking drop down emojis. No, I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. The cyberbullying, the take that they're doing. Oh,
Yeah, sure, for sure.
that's what happened. How about you? What's your side of this? Anything?
My side of this is as a female, like who went through, public schooling, like this movie was hard to watch. And I don't know if you were getting some of that, like just for the viewers to know.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh no,
as
you were texting like I would have left.
Yeah, like we were pretty much, live tweeting, but not really.
Yeah.
Uh,
Live texting.
Live texting the film back and forth with each other.
And I was 2 minutes ahead, so I was just giving you warnings
Yeah,
constantly.
heads up, heads up, heads up.
Gets worse.
Yeah, you have nothing to look forward to in this film. But yeah, I mean, it really, like, a lot of that stuff, like, hit close to, like, I've been to sleepovers, obviously not in, like, rich, like,
Yeah.
Connecticut
You know,
freaking mountain villas, but
you never went to a house where there was a Marilyn Monroe picture with a beating egg yolk face, as art. It's fucking weird.
yeah, and I did not get the message with that. Like, why was the artwork changing? Why was it moving? Like, I have no idea.
I think this falls under trying too hard. And now I think this is one of the first director's movies. And I give her credit. when they went to Canes with it, she did an anti-bullying campaign with the film. So
Okay, but yeah, it's like, okay, it's a movie for a cause. That's great, but it's still a shitty movie.
yeah. No, sorry. And you were saying so.
Well,
The
I was
only
just
part of
saying
the
it was,
horror for you was how the girls were actually acting.
yeah. I mean, it was one of those where it was like, wow, God, like I remember those days, and I remember why I'm so happy to be an adult. Like,
It's that, yeah. That's. I mean, that's kind of interesting. That was one of the takeaways, but I guess it's a shame of the movie that that's really the only takeaway you had
yeah.
from
Well, I
from.
mean,
I've
not.
been emotionally affected by the film. Not in the ways they wanted me to. Mm, Probably.
Well, I don't know. On the anti-bullying front, it's like, yeah, it was brutal enough and like so concentrated. Like, I never dealt with anything like that
Yeah.
concentrated in one room. But, um, for me, it was just like, God, this is uncomfortable. And now knowing that there's like a whole campaign and thing with it, it's like, okay, yeah, you met your goal of
Yeah.
like putting a spotlight on that and making it uncomfortable.
But there were so many ways you could have ended that movie to highlight the effect rather than. I think the ending discounted everything that had come before it by just taking all of that away instead of being like, oh, here's a girl who was emotionally fragile from her mom's death. Her father just got fucking shot and all of that stuff. They could have had a really interesting ending, but instead they just cut to a fucking YouTube video clip of, I'm going to get all the points in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the best on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things were lost in translation. The acting was superb. The acting
Yeah,
was absolutely superb.
I'm
Like
not taking that from anyone. Even the girl from American Pie who dropped her daughter off and was never seen or heard from again.
just disappeared off into the wherevers. Um, but yeah, I still don't know how I feel about this movie. I mean,
That's the
overall,
face
I
I'm
know how
making.
I feel.
That's how I feel about this movie. It's one of those, yeah. Like if
Yeah,
anyone involved in the film came to me like, oh, how did you like it? I'd like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So that's all I got. One frowny face.
Yep, nope, I'm sticking with my 10 out of 10 poop emojis.
Yeah. Hashtag horror.
Watch
Ever.
at your own risk.
Hashtag.
And hashtag us on Twitter and let us know what you thought about it.
Or don't. Safer that way.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Learn from our mistakes.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.